High Cardinal. The Dominion's all but done for.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
You're that sellsword the dame's so fond of. That was some fine work you did up in Moore. We'll, see to our own affairs from now on now. Duke's got big plans for the Empire.
Do you think he was the only one who survived?
Doesn't matter. He's the only one who came.
And you're just gonna fall into line?
What else can I do? I'm a soldier.
I don't trust this Duke. If we're not careful, he'll undo all the Dane's hard work.
Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrec. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrec. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men. If it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck.
The fact that the soldiers trust you may well carry some weight with the Duke. He needs their support, after all. I only hope that you can make him see sense before he tears the town apart.
Might this Duke have been at the Remembrance ceremony?
Let's hope we didn't make a strong impression.
It's not only control of the garrison he wants, it's the whole of Northreach.
We already have a leader in the Dame.
Halt. Oh, sorry about that. You're the Dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. A citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Things are about to change around here. You wait and see.
One at a time now. There's enough for everyone.
Thank you. We won't forget this.
We don't have much, but the dame had us empty the Vale's larders to see these poor souls fed. Because that is what we do.
The captain wants 2 score pikeheads and as many swords as you're able to muster.
And I want a new bearer who can keep my forge fired. Looks like neither of us are getting what we want. Do you think he was the only one who survived?
Does it matter? He's the only one who came.
You're that sellsword the dame's so fond of. That was some fine work you did up.
Is that shouting I heard from the barracks?
Trouble again.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
That so-called Duke is ours.
And to think I would be lying under a pile of rubble in Twinside.
If you'd ever got as far as setting out, yeah.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, only for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes. If he comes calling, the only thing I'm giving the Duke of Oriflamme's a piece of my mind. Maybe a smack in the gob.
The garrison salvaged what they could from
The Duke might have soldiers at his beck and call, but us common folk follow the dame, and no one else.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
And what can I do for you? I do like a customer who knows what he wants. You've a keen eye. An excellent choice. I do like a customer who knows what he wants. And a fine, fine day to you.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place.
And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
So, you were right about the high card and all?
I'd rather I was wrong.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
And you're just gonna fall into line.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes. I mean, it'd be nice if we could all do whatever the hell we wanted and not end up being torn to shreds by a swarm of fiends. But we can't, so we've got to make sacrifices, just like the Duke of Oriflamme says.
It's not only control of the garrison he wants, it's the whole of Northreach.
Well, what do you think? What do I think? I think if we followed his lead, the town wouldn't stand a chance.
We already have a leader in the Dame.
One at a time now. There's enough for everyone.
You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us cement and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Dame, but I'm with the Duke on this one. If turning this place into a fortress is what it takes to protect my family, I'll do it.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing yourself.
A whole day to dry some blood. Welcome back. Wraiths give you any trouble?
None worth mentioning. They're staying put for now.
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realized what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. but I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then...
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier, if only for a few nights.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I...
Philippe, in your town, no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. Let us speak. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely. Our conversation can wait.
Please, proceed.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. No. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people. He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him. By all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his followers included. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to harden the Duke's resolve, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so kind as to seek him out.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you. I'd like to see the two of you in action together.
Your town needs you.
Saw the captain just now. Wasn't wearing his uniform.
Because he handed it in along with his sword.
Said he'd find a better way to protect the town.
I would speak with this Duke about the demands he's made of me and my fellow traders.
Yeah? And why would he want to speak with you? Now, piss off!
The Duke might have soldiers at his beck and call. Us common folk.
What does the dame have to say about all this, I wonder? You've heard, then? The Duke plans to make Northreach a fortress, and would have the townspeople pay for it. We are not only to build his walls, but feed his army, and fill his stores, all for the privilege of living under his rule.
So you are content to abandon the people to their fates? Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
Help me, boy.
Enough! Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. You all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, that's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. She'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dane was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sanbreque, just as great Griga wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Brandit.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griga.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caernarvon and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured, the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still won for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I've fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
All right. But take care.
Thank you. Both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
When the fighting begins, we can take refuge in the barracks. We'll be safe there.
I have served the Duke for many years, and I hope to do so for many more. But I cannot turn my back on these people. Our people.
The captain said to bring our wounded here.
And we'll be ready for them.
Merciful Krieger, wherefore would you forsake me?
Father.
I want steel in the hands of every man or woman willing to fight.
If any get by, you can trust we'll be here to meet them head on.
There are so many of them.
Not for long. No. It's only just begun. That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again. As did you, Sabine. His radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship. I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you?
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only for Sanbreque, but for us.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
Can I get you anything?
That would be nice. Thanks for standing with us.
One of the dames, aren't you? Leave it to her to spot an able body.
There's no need to worry any longer.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
They'll be well taken care of, I'm sure.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town, it is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the Vale that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter. All united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
We have brought Northreach together. Now the fight begins to keep her together. For if this town is to survive, we must all play our part. including you, Clive. We have brought Northreach together. Now the fight begins to keep her together. For if this town is to survive... all play our part, including you, Clive.